What's going on, everyone? So, big Bronny guy. I really do think that he has a ton of potential. Not saying superstar, not saying even necessarily an all-star, but I think he is going to be a very good kind of 3-and-D style guard, right? Think of like a George Hill, a Gabe Vincent even, right? But more athletic. I mean, he's got the athleticism, he's got his dad's IQ, right? The guy can jump out the gym. And I think defensively, he could already help now. I mean, he is on it defensively. The guy is an absolute menace out there. And Lakers need that. I mean, say what you want about Bronny, right? He's the exact type of player that the Lakers need slotted alongside Luka. Right? Just versatile, athletic, can get after it, be that point of attack, be that pest on the defensive side of things, right? I wish he was like 6'6", but beggars can't be choosers, right? Like to have him as a guy, 6'3" that could go, be that point of attack, be that defensive menace, put the pressure on opposing offenses, I think really has some value in the Lakers rotation. Bronny himself has even talked about how, like, hey, I understand that if I'm going to be a part of this rotation, I'm going to be in getting quality minutes, I need to be getting it done on the defensive side. Also doing the dirty work, rebounding, chasing down loose balls, be the guy to get to those 50-50 balls, right? Create those turnovers, get those second chance opportunities for the Lakers. All of those things start to net as a positive to where it's like, we got to keep this guy on there. Look, there are plenty of guards. I mean, Gary Payton II is not a great offensive player. He's not a great three-point shooter, but many people are screaming to go get Gary Payton II. Why? Because he's a guy that does the dirty work. A lot of the things that he does and the way he impacts the game doesn't even show up in the box score. That's what I see as Bronny. Bronny could just be like our Alex Caruso type. Like Alex Caruso isn't a superstar. He's not an all-star. He's not some guy that people look at and go, man, that guy's one of the top players in all of basketball. But every single team, every single fan, every single anybody looks at Alex Caruso and goes, we need that guy on our team. That's what I want to see Bronny be. Be an Alex Caruso type. Be that guy that's just undeniable. He has to be out there because he's making the winning plays and he's impacting the game. Now, I want to start on a positive note because I do want to go into some of the struggles that Bronny is having. I want to be fair. I would evaluate any player this way. Even, I talk about even LeBron James all the time about things that he does poorly, in particular game or whatnot, right? So again, if I'm going to be fair, if I'm going to praise Bronny as much as I do, because I really do, I think even if LeBron leaves, I think the Lakers should keep Bronny James. I don't think Bronny and Bron should be a package deal, any type of trade. You need Bronny James, right? So again, if I'm going to be fair and be willing to praise Bronny for the things that he's doing great, I need to be able to criticize him for the things that he's doing poorly, that he needs to work on. But again, he's 21 years old. He's a kid. He's younger than the guy we just drafted this year, right? So not worried about it. You've seen the progress. You've seen the confidence in the young man. You've seen him go from year one to year two, right? You've seen that progress. It's what I want to continue to see. The guy works hard. He plays harder. I love that about him. But the offensive side of things, he's had his struggles. Now, as far as like getting to the basket, getting out in transition, a lot of like the things that you'd probably want to see from him, he's going to do, or he's doing well and is going to probably continue to do well in that, right? He's a guy, you get the turnover, you get the rebound, he should be leaking out, try to get that look ahead pass. Maybe he can go finish at the rim. He's doing a really good job of finishing through contact, finishing around the rim, right? Operating and applying that rim pressure, which is you want to see, right? Now, as far as that, the shooting has been an issue. He's been kind of hot and cold from 3-point range. And he started off, what was he, 2 for 2, I think, from 3-point range. And then he's kind of tapered down. I also think a lot of it is just taking your time. Right? Like a lot of times Bronny's rushing his shot. His shot is better. He's improved his shot. You can see it in the shooting mechanic. But sometimes, you see guys get rushed. Dorian Finney-Smith even talked about it this last season, right? With Luka, that like we're rushing our shots. He even said like we had to have a meeting about it because we're not realizing how wide open you are. Sometimes you don't realize how wide open you are. Obviously, you don't want to sit all day and whatnot, but a lot of times Bronny's just kind of getting it, trying to get it up rather than getting it, squaring his shoulders up, and then getting the shot off. Now, that might be easier once he gets to an NBA level, but it is something of concern. right? It is something like, hey, because we're going to need him to knock down the three ball with some level of consistency. I'm fine if he's like 32% this season. I'm not worried about that. I want to see him continue to grow and progress, but it's something in the area that he needs to continue to work on. He also needs to work on just kind of that operating in that mid-range. Right? That's going to be such a valuable component. And you're seeing the mid-range more and more of a resurgence. I've talked about the mid-range since I started this channel. Right? Again, there's video evidence scattered all over all of my channels about how important the mid-range is. And I've pointed out, you look at kind of these teams that advance further and further into the postseason, right? And get to the NBA Finals. Every year, each of those teams have several guys that can knock down the mid-range because teams make it such a point to close out hard on the three-point shooters as well as, protect the paint. So that kind of, 15-foot area becomes very valuable to a team. But Grange's McBasketball recently talked and broke down the numbers for Bronny James. So I wanted to kind of go over those because I do think it is interesting, right? So Bronny's been effective in transition, 1.6 PPP, which is very good. If he can translate that going forward, that'd be fantastic, but has really struggled in the half court. 0.51 PPP on 4 of 24 shooting. So he's really got to work in his half-court sets offensively, especially playing alongside Luka, especially playing alongside LeBron James, especially playing alongside Austin Reeves. Right? We're not going to be the fastest-paced team in basketball. We're just not. Right? So Bronny's going to have to be able to operate in the half court, catch and shoot, right? Be a slasher and cutter, stop on a dime, shoot over the top. He's going to have to work on those things. Now, again, I do think and hope that once he gets with the main roster, gets with JJ Redick and stuff, they kind of talk to him about, hey, you don't have to rush your shot. You have plenty of time, right? Take your time, get your shoulders squared, right? Get your body aligned and knock down the shot with some consistency. But he's also 71% of his shots in the half court have been threes. It's 2 of 17 on those so far. That's the threes in the half court, right? You've seen him in transition and whatnot. Again, rushing his shots. This is a great example of what I'm talking about with Bronny James. He's not setting himself and really getting a quality look. He's just catching and kind of shooting, right? Which, in many occasions, that's kind of what you need to do, right? Catch, shoot, get it up, right? But again, with Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves and these guys that just create and collapse defenses so heavily, right? Like, you have the time to adjust. It's harder in Summer League because teams are trying to close out. Teams are, you don't have the shot creators. You don't have the playmakers, right? You don't have that in Summer League. You don't have a Luka cooking and then kicking it out to Bronny James. You have, guys that are trying to make the league doing that. So I'm not overly concerned about it, but it's definitely something that we need to keep an eye on. He shot 15% in Summer League, 31% in South Bay Lakers, and 23% in LA on threes in the half court last year. So again, something that he really needs to work on. I want to be fair and wait until we start to see him in actual NBA action. It's definitely a concern. It's definitely something that, again, he needs to continue to work on. But I want to see what does he look like when he's out there with the main unit, with the main guys and LeBron and Luka and stuff, where he's getting passes right in his shooting pocket. He's getting the opportunity to square up and take his time, right? Like, again, Summer League, you don't have the offensive generators. You don't have that Luka that's going to collapse. Bronny's guy's going to have to come and help. Luka's kicking out to Bronny James in the corner, and he can, square up and take a second to get right so he can take his shot. Like that, those are all things that matter. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.